Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Louise Nichols, I'm a textile artist and I live in Cornwall. And today's video is all about doing the running stitch on the folk flowers. So this is the final video regarding doing the stitching, but then there will be another part which is part of the Making Into series where I'm talking about making the prints into various things. So the last one was a cushion, so this is going to be about mounting this print into an embroidery hoop, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So that will be the very final part, but this is the last bit that talks about the stitching. So thank you so much for being patient with this series. It's taken me a long time. It seems to have been forever since I started it, way before the beginning of the summer holidays. So thank you very much for bearing with me, and I hope you enjoy the video. So the last few bits of stitching now on this folk flower. So again, this is the original, and I'm going to keep the original colours that I used. So there's a cream and a grey to do the running stitch. So I don't need to change my list here, and I know all the measurements are still correct because I've done the stitching in exactly the same place. So the cream is this, it's a finker thread, a size 16 finker, and I think the shade is 3000 for the cream. And the grey that I'm going to be using is another finker thread, another size 16, and the shade is 8785. So on your, if you bought the kit, it would be thread 7 for the cream and thread 8 for the grey. So I have my needle all threaded up, ready to go, and let me move that out of the way. So I'm just looking at doing, it's inside these leaves here. There's a bit on the leaves here, on the top flower here, in the little petals here, and around the whole of the outside in that border there as well. So that's what I'm going to be looking to stitch now. So when I'm doing my running stitch, single thickness, and I've knotted the end again, and just come up where you want to start. Now I do my running stitch for this, if it's on top of a print, usually I'm just a couple of millimeters in from the edge. Sometimes it will go on the edge, but it will always tell you in the instructions if it's to go on the edge. And I tend to just do, I don't do like long runs of them. I tend to maybe just do a couple, especially if I'm on a curve like this. And then I'll just turn the print accordingly. So in, under, in, under, like that. Just going to make sure you're in shot there actually. Yeah, you're fine. And with this one, because it's quite a thin thread and I'm only going a short way, I think I'll probably just take it across the back of the print there, and ready to start the other side rather than finishing off and then starting again. I don't take many threads across the back, as you probably know by now if you've watched me quite a lot. I just think sometimes going across the back with all your threads, you know, if I was going from here to here, you're probably going to end up with a slightly puckered piece of work, especially if you're kind of going diagonally. And I want to keep it nice and flat. So there to there for me is fine. And the other reason I don't always like to go across the back is if you're doing it going across with a thicker thread like this, and then you're going to be putting bonder web or fuser web onto the back, you get a little ridge where that thread is, and I don't like that either. So that's why I avoid crossing over at the back. You see, now I'm doing single stitches there, aren't I? Anyway, you get the idea. So I'm just going to do all of the cream, and then I'll bring you back in, and like there, you see, I'm not going to go across from there to there. I'm going to tie off because I don't want too many crossover bits. Yeah, so I'll do all the cream, and then I'll bring you back in ready to start the grey. Okay, so that's all the running stitch done with the cream size 16 thread. So that's around the outside there, on these leaves on part of the stem here, just here, as well on the main flower, around these bits on the main flower, and then a little bit of detail on these kind of little bud type sort of, I don't know what they are really, on there anyway, and around the outside of this little flower here. I think that's it with the cream. And on your stitch diagram, all the running stitch is this kind of dash line here. So next is the grey. So again, I'm only going to be doing it in the same place as on the original. So I'm going to start down here by doing this at the side of the trunk. So a lot of the grey is actually, show you, a lot of the grey sort of runs alongside some of these shapes. There is some detail, like on the tulip type flowers, there's detail on there, and then on some of these almost like teardrop shapes, there's a little stitch there as well. But again, the stitch diagram will show you those. It doesn't differentiate between colours, obviously, but there is a colour image also in the kit. But yeah, so you can see on the little teardrop shape here, that little line, so that's where those, it's just a single stitch on those shapes. So I'm just doing a few stitches running up the side of the stem. Again, I don't sort of tend to do lots of stitches in one run, maybe one or two. Again, if you need to draw a line just to help you keep your stitching straight, that's absolutely fine. Let's see what it does there. Oh, I've got one stitch there at the top there. And then I'm going to turn around and come back down the other side. So take it across the back, ready to come out there. So again, I'll continue doing this running stitch and come back to you once it's all finished. So that's all the running stitch finished now. In fact, that's all the embellishing finished on the whole of this piece now. So the next video is going to be me mounting it into, it fits into a 12-inch embroidery hoop, and I'm going to be showing you how I mount my pieces of work into embroidery hoops. So thank you very, very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.